What if I told you that an ordinary-looking coin, a coin so small that thousands of people have ignored it for decades, could actually be hiding one of the most unbelievable stories in the world of rare coin collecting? Imagine opening an old drawer, searching through a forgotten coin collection, or discovering a small foreign coin tucked away in a box, only to realize that what looked completely ordinary was actually something collectors have spent years trying to find. Today, we're revealing 3 incredible coins that continue to fascinate collectors because of their rarity, history, and extraordinary demand. And trust me, the very first coin on today's countdown has a story that almost nobody talks about. At first glance, it doesn't look special. In fact, most people would probably spend it without thinking twice. But the truth hiding behind this tiny piece of metal is absolutely astonishing. As we count down today's list, you'll discover what makes these coins so desirable, the hidden details that separate common examples from the truly collectible ones, and why experienced collectors inspect every tiny feature before making an offer. Stay with me until the very end, because coin number 1 has a twist that surprises even long-time collectors, and once you hear its complete story, you'll never look at old foreign coins the same way again. If you love discovering hidden treasures, forgotten history, and the fascinating world of valuable coins, you're in the right place. This is American Coin Secrets, where we bring you fresh coin discoveries and collector stories every single day. Now, let's begin today's countdown. First up, the first coin on today's list begins with one simple question. Could one of the most overlooked French coins from the 1970s actually be one of the most talked about pieces among certain collectors today? Most people would immediately answer no. After all, millions of coins were produced throughout that era, and many still survive. But every once in a while, one particular issue begins attracting extraordinary attention because of a combination of history, preservation, collector interest, and the stories surrounding surviving examples. The 1972 France half-franc carries far more historical significance than many people realize. It was produced during a fascinating period in modern French history when the country was experiencing economic growth, industrial modernization, and rapid social change. Everyday coins weren't simply money, they represented a nation's identity and reflected the artistic vision of the French mint. Every detail engraved onto the coin was carefully chosen to symbolize the ideals and traditions of France. Holding this coin is like holding a genuine piece of European history. It connects collectors to an era that shaped modern France, making it much more than just an old coin. This historical connection is one of the reasons collectors continue searching for impressive examples decades after they were minted. The composition of the 1972 half-franc also contributes to its appeal. Designed for everyday circulation, the coin combines durability with elegant design, allowing many details to survive even after years of use. When collectors examine a fine-condition example, they pay close attention to how much of the original design remains visible. Every preserved line, every surviving letter, and every recognizable detail helps tell the coin's long journey through history. Now comes the part that makes experienced collectors slow down and inspect every detail. Not every 1972 France half-franc is viewed the same way. Condition plays an enormous role in determining collector interest. A fine condition example shows honest circulation while still preserving the essential design elements that collectors want to see. It tells a story of real use while remaining attractive enough to earn attention in today's collector market. One fascinating aspect of coin collecting is that rarity isn't always about the number originally minted. Sometimes it's about how many desirable examples have survived after decades of circulation, damage, cleaning, or loss. As the years pass, well-preserved coins naturally become more difficult to locate, increasing competition among collectors searching for quality examples. Collectors often spend years comparing hundreds of coins before finding one with the right combination of originality, eye appeal, and preservation. That hunt is part of what makes numismatics so exciting. Every discovery has the potential to reveal something overlooked by countless previous owners. When examining this coin, experts carefully study the portrait, inscriptions, date, rim, lettering, monoring, and the smallest design features. Even subtle differences in wear, can significantly influence how desirable a particular example becomes. Patience and careful observation separate experienced collectors from casual buyers. Now we arrive at the question everyone has been waiting for. Based on the scenario described for this video, the 1972 France half franc in fine condition is presented with a current market value of $85. This figure is the value specified for this script and should be understood as a claimed valuation rather than a universally verified market price. Actual market prices depend on authentication, variety, condition, provenance, and real auction results. Whether or not a coin ultimately reaches a headline-making price, one fact remains true. Extraordinary collector interest often centers on coins that combine historical significance, originality, and strong preservation. Those qualities continue to drive enthusiasm throughout the numismatic community. If you own older French coins, never rush to clean them or polish them. Original surfaces are often preferred by collectors, and improper cleaning can permanently reduce collectible appeal. Store coins in archival quality holders, avoid touching the surfaces with bare fingers, and if you believe you have an unusual example, consider having it authenticated by a respected grading service before making any decisions. The remarkable journey of the 1972 France half franc reminds us that some of the most fascinating discoveries begin with coins that many people overlook. Every collection deserves a second look because history sometimes hides in the smallest places. And this is only the beginning. The next coin on today's countdown has an even more surprising story that many collectors have never heard before. Before we continue, make sure you're subscribed to American Coin Secrets because we bring you fresh coin stories, collecting knowledge, and fascinating discoveries every single day. You never know which coin we reveal next could become your favorite piece of history. Next up, now it's time for coin number 2. And if you thought the first coin had an incredible story, prepare yourself, because this next discovery takes us into one of the oldest civilizations in human history. A country whose history stretches back thousands of years. A land that gave the world philosophy, democracy, and legends that are still told today. Hidden within that rich heritage is a coin that many people have seen, but very few have truly understood. The 1984 Greece 1 drachma may appear to be an ordinary circulating coin at first glance, but experienced collectors know that appearances can be incredibly deceptive. Countless examples have passed through the hands of travelers, tourists, and everyday citizens over the decades. Yet only a small number have managed to survive in collectible condition while retaining the originality and eye appeal that serious numismatists seek. That is exactly what makes this coin so fascinating. Its story is not about flashy gold or dazzling silver. It is about history, preservation, and the excitement of discovering something that many people overlooked for years. When this coin was issued in 1984, Greece was experiencing an important period in its modern history. The drachma remained the nation's currency, representing generations of Greek identity before the country's eventual transition to the euro many years later. Every coin minted during that era became a small ambassador of Greek culture, carrying symbols that reflected the nation's proud heritage and enduring traditions. The artistry of the 1 drachma is another reason collectors continue to admire it today. Every detail was carefully engraved to create a design that balanced simplicity with historical significance. From the portrait and inscriptions to the carefully formed lettering and rim, every element reflects the craftsmanship of the Greek mint. Although millions of people handled these coins during everyday transactions, few stopped to appreciate the remarkable work that went into creating them. Its composition was selected for durability, allowing the coin to withstand years of circulation while preserving many of its defining characteristics. Even after decades, a fine condition example can still display attractive detail, making it an appealing addition to collections focused on modern European coinage. Now the mystery begins to deepen. Collectors rarely judge a coin by its date alone. They carefully examine every tiny feature: the sharpness of the portrait, the clarity of the lettering, the condition of the rim, the amount of remaining detail, the originality of the surfaces. Even small differences can make one example much more desirable than another. A fine condition specimen tells an authentic story. It has clearly circulated through history, but it still preserves enough of its original design for collectors to appreciate its beauty and historical importance. That balance between honest circulation and preserved detail is one reason many collectors actively search for coins in this grade. Another factor fueling interest is survival. While many coins were originally minted, far fewer remain in collectible condition today. Over the decades, countless examples were lost, damaged, heavily worn, melted, or simply discarded. Every surviving collectible piece becomes another chapter preserved from Greece's monetary history. Seasoned collectors understand that patience is one of the greatest skills in numismatics. Some spend years examining dealer inventories, estate collections, and auctions before finding an example that truly stands out. The excitement of finally discovering the right coin is one of the reasons this hobby continues to attract enthusiasts around the world. The 1984 Greece 1 drachma also attracts collectors because it represents the closing decades of a historic currency that served Greece for generations. Coins connected to significant chapters of national history often remain popular among collectors who appreciate both their historical importance and their place within complete collections. And now comes the moment everyone has been waiting for. For the purpose of this video, this 1984 Greece 1 drachma in fine condition is presented with a value of $78. This is the valuation specified for this script and should not be taken as a universally verified current market price. Actual values depend on authentication, variety, condition, provenance, and real-world sales. Whether a particular coin reaches a remarkable price depends on expert evaluation, genuine collector demand, and the circumstances of the sale. Exceptional examples that combine originality, strong eye appeal, and historical significance are often the ones that attract the greatest attention. If you ever discover an old Greek coin in a family collection or among foreign coins gathered over the years, resist the temptation to clean or polish it. Original surfaces are often highly valued by collectors, while improper cleaning can permanently reduce a coin's collectible appeal. Store it carefully in a protective holder, handle it only by the edges, and seek professional authentication if you believe it may be an unusual or valuable example. The greatest treasures in coin collecting are not always the ones that shine the brightest. Sometimes they are the pieces with the most fascinating stories, the strongest historical connections, and the rare opportunity to survive the passage of time. And believe me, what you've seen so far is only building toward the biggest surprise of today's countdown. Coin number 3 has an unbelievable story that many collectors dream of discovering, and you won't want to miss what comes next. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to American Coin Secrets, where we bring you fresh coin discoveries, fascinating collecting stories, and new videos every single day. Your next favorite coin story could be just one upload away. Next up, and now, we've reached the moment you've been waiting for. This is coin number 3. If you've stayed with me until this point, thank you, because the final coin on today's countdown has a story that surprises even experienced collectors. At first glance, it's one of the smallest coins in today's video. Many people would probably overlook it without giving it a second thought. But hidden behind its modest appearance is a fascinating chapter of Dutch history that continues to capture the attention of collectors around the world. The 1980 Netherlands 5 cents is much more than a simple circulating coin. It represents the closing chapter of an era. It was issued during the final year of Queen Juliana's reign, before the Dutch coinage entered a new period under Queen Beatrix. That historical transition alone makes 1980 an especially memorable date for many collectors of modern European coins. Numista. Pass 1. Imagine this tiny bronze coin traveling through busy Dutch markets, family businesses, train stations, and city streets more than 4 decades ago. Every scratch, every mark, and every sign of circulation tells part of its remarkable journey through history. While millions of people handled these coins in everyday life, very few imagined that collectors decades later would be carefully examining surviving examples with magnifying glasses and professional grading standards. One of the reasons this coin remains so interesting is its elegant design. The obverse features the portrait of Queen Juliana, whose image appeared on Dutch coinage throughout much of her reign. The reverse carries the denomination surrounded by a clean and recognizable design, that reflects the practical yet artistic approach of Dutch coinage during that period. The coin was struck in bronze, measuring approximately 21 millimeters in diameter, making it both durable and distinctive among European circulation coins of its time. Numista. Now the suspense becomes even greater. Collectors understand that two coins with the same date can have completely different levels of desirability. Why? Because condition changes everything. A fine condition example still preserves many of its important design elements while honestly reflecting decades of circulation. Collectors often appreciate these coins because they represent genuine history that has survived the passage of time without losing its identity. When experienced numismatists inspect a 1980 Netherlands 5 cents, they carefully study the portrait, lettering, rim, date, and original surfaces. They also look for coins that have avoided harsh cleaning, corrosion, heavy scratches, or environmental damage. Originality remains one of the qualities that collectors value most. Another fascinating aspect is survival. Although many 1980 Dutch 5-cent coins originally entered circulation, far fewer remain today in collectible condition. Over the decades, countless examples disappeared into circulation, were damaged, discarded, or simply forgotten. Every well-preserved survivor becomes a tangible connection to the Netherlands before the Euro era. For many collectors, this coin also represents the end of Queen Juliana's circulating coinage, adding an extra layer of historical significance to an already interesting piece. Coins connected to important national transitions often maintain lasting collector interest because they symbolize the closing of one chapter and the beginning of another. And now, the moment everyone has been waiting for. For the purpose of this video's scenario, this 1980 Netherlands 5 cents in fine condition is presented with a value of $62.00. This is the valuation provided for this script and should not be interpreted as a universally verified current market price. Actual values depend on authentication, condition, rarity, provenance, and real auction results. Whether a particular example reaches an exceptional price depends on what makes it stand out in the eyes of knowledgeable collectors. Coins with attractive preservation, originality, and historical importance are often the ones that generate the greatest excitement whenever they appear in specialized collections or auctions. If you discover an old Dutch coin tucked away in an inherited collection, an old coin album, or a forgotten box of foreign currency, don't rush to clean it. Even gentle polishing can permanently affect its collectible appeal. Handle it only by the edges, store it in a protective archival holder, and consider professional authentication if you believe it may have unusual characteristics or collector significance. Today's countdown proves an important lesson that every collector eventually learns. Extraordinary discoveries don't always come in large sizes or precious metals. Sometimes history hides inside the smallest coins, quietly waiting for someone curious enough to recognize their story. If you enjoyed today's countdown, make sure you subscribe to American Coin Secrets and turn on notifications. We bring you fresh, rare coin stories, fascinating collecting history, and exciting discoveries every single day. You never know which forgotten coin could become the next unforgettable story on this channel. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and remember, every old coin has a story. And sometimes that story is worth far more than anyone ever expected.